This episode is sponsored by Zenro Clothing Co. Pick up your tees and or accessories at zenroclothingco.com and be sure to use offer code Socrates at checkout for 20% off select items. Also, if you're not into spending the money, just check out the Zenro radio playlist. zenroclothingco.com, music for your everyday. This episode also sponsored by The Pornian Bakery. If you're located in the Pornian area of Scarborough, Toronto, be sure to check out The Pornian Bakery, say what's up to Arville, and pick up a donut or two. Baked daily, crafted with love. This episode also sponsored by Podbean. Podbean is the podcasting platform of choice. It's the one that me and Vish use, and is great, you know, if you're looking to start that DIY podcast yourself. Definitely check out Podbean. Use the link podbean.com/SocraticGamers and gain 1 month of unlimited podcasting for free. Test it out, build that content. Anyone can podcast, right, Vish?
Yep.
Start a podcast and get your ideas out there. All right, enjoy the episode. All right. So it appears as though the end is upon us. Vaccine rollouts are pretty much totally underway. I guess we're like a month away from like 18 plus. So basically anyone who wants it in Ontario can grab a vaccine. You were saying that that's because Pfizer decided to like do more shipments or something? Like, I didn't really look into it. I was just like, oh, how come they switched their plan? Like, it was like all about hotspots and then...
No, it's still hotspots now.
No, I know, but like how did it all of a sudden switch to like, okay, next month we can all get vaccines?
Well, when they said hotspots, it was start of April, right?
Right.
But we knew probably by mid-April that we'll be getting more Pfizer.
Okay.
In May. So the decision was done in basically the week before May, right?
So what you're saying
a few days before May.
So this is like all according to plan then, is what you're saying? Like they had this planned out prior?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So why was everyone freaking out then? It's so weird. Like,
well,
like
it's just because
like,
I mean,
vaccine
why is everyone
and all that? You know,
yeah, but everyone's
like,
freaking out because it's everybody in America is getting shots, right? So it's like,
how come? But like, if you just listen to his plan, then it's like,
yeah, but it's like
coming.
But like nobody, 2 weeks is too far, or a month long is a bit too far, right? There's cases are going up right now.
But like, you know what? Right.
I feel like if you keep watching the news, it's like, oh, we've hit a new ICU
totally
capacity.
Totally, yeah. But I feel like with this whole thing, like the marketing is just completely like backwards, you know? So there's a lot of people I know and that like comment too about like their anti-vax beliefs, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but with that, it's like because like their rationale is like, okay, I'm not gonna die from this virus, so it's fine if I get it. But it's about really the common good here, because what narrative they're not pushing in mainstream media is that, yeah, you'll be fine, but the virus is going to mutate, you know? So like as it passes through multiple people, it changes, and that's how like the flu propagates. You know, with COVID, it hasn't jumped to animals yet. Well, it has, but not to the point where it's like the flu, right? Like every single year, it's like
it seems to be. I don't know if this is true, but it seems to be in like cats can get it from us or something.
Okay, but like if we can stop it before it becomes like easily passed between human and animal, then we can nip this thing in the bud.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But like all the narrative that they're pushing is like the first vaccine's the best vaccine. Like they're not saying why, and I think like that's the big problem with this whole vaccine rollout that I'm seeing, because like there's a lot of like misinformation there. Like I posted that thing with The Rock, right, getting the vaccine, and then that dude commented like, oh, he's a fool for getting it. I'm like why don't you want to get it though? Like, oh, it's because it's gonna like kill you. No, it's not. The percentage is like low. Oh, it's because it's like they're gonna brainwash you. It's like, for what? You know, it's really like, if you just said, actually, this brings up the Joe Rogan thing, right? Because Joe Rogan was saying like, anybody that's 20, I don't think you should get the vaccine. And it was a huge controversy. Yeah. And then he went on his podcast again with another person. It was like, oh, actually, you know, people are getting upset. But what they were saying is, if you get it, it like reduces the the mutation of the virus.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, that makes logical sense.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, why don't they just push that narrative?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think they do, at least in the health world, they do. But
yeah, right. But how come that's not mainstream? Like everyone's
it's
like,
not.
oh,
It's not who's leading the mainstream, right? Like right now, we're dealing with is vaccine distribution. So they keep asking them about, okay, how come you're not hitting hotspots? Like it's the media that's asking these questions that lead people go into this direction of thinking without, because it's sometimes, even though the politicians can say like why they're doing it, or if some of the health ministers say well to stop transmission, they do say these things, but it's not what the media. No, but that's not what the media is focusing on. The media is focusing on where you're failing at.
Yeah, which is so dumb. It's like no, but you can still have a campaign. Like, all right, so, like, okay, so the stuff that I see is like just the first vaccine is the best vaccine, right? That's their marketing ploy, or like, get the shot.
Oh, to get to get whatever vaccine you can get.
Yeah, like why don't you just say like save a life, get the vaccine, like stop the mutation, get the vaccine. That should be the freaking messaging. You know, it shouldn't be like just get the vaccine. People are like, why would I get the vaccine? I'm not going to die from it. I mean, I personally know people that have not died from it, like have gotten it. They've gotten sick, but it's like, okay, you're fine.
True, yeah, maybe.
So then everyone's like, well, why would I get the vaccine? Because I'm not going to die from it. Even Joe Rogan was saying that, right? It wasn't until like, and then when I heard him like clarify his response, like, oh, it actually makes sense to get it because then it doesn't mutate. I was like, you and I were privy to that information prior.
Yeah.
But what if we didn't have like a soon-to-be doctor in the house, or like other people that studied that, you know? Then we wouldn't have known that, oh, that's how it mutates. You know what I mean? It's like, it's the lack of information that I think that's why people are hesitant to get it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I mean,
if you really think about it, right? Because
you
squash the argument. It's like, well, why do I need? I'm not going to die. It's like, yeah, but if it gets into you, it's going to change. And then if it gets another person, it's going to change. And then if it gets another person, it's going to change. And then it's going to mutate to the point that like we need a whole new vaccine.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it has to be
2.0.
Yeah, we have to stop. It's
like, how do you get a UK variant? Because everyone's gotten it.
Yeah.
So now it's like completely mutated in a whole new way.
Yeah, it's very. You have to stop thinking individualistically.
Yeah, totally, right? Yeah. You got to think of it collectively. Yeah. And that's like what jumped in my thinking, right? Like at first I was like, oh, it's kind of weird. Like, why would I get something I'm probably going to survive? It's also like, it's untested, whatever. But like, I mean, all right, so first of all, it's obviously been tested. Like millions of people have gotten it already.
Yeah.
Like, sure, no long-term side effects. But then my next thought is like, yeah, but what's your civic duty? You know, like your global good.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, sure, I'll survive. I might not even need a ventilator, but I will have affected the virus in some way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, even though you say that the young people won't be as affected, it's not necessarily true in the sense that when it happened in April, at least in Ontario, when they were planning to reopen, they were expecting low hospital ICU beds or whatever being used, right? But what they saw was that more people that were coming in were younger people.
Totally, yeah.
That was not expected.
But okay,
so that was probably the mutations that the UK one had, or the other one that were coming in. That this was more affecting younger people.
But then, so there's that argument. So my mom, who's a nurse, she used that on me all the time. Like, oh, you better be safe because like you younger people are getting it. I'm like, yeah, but if you still look at it, I'm most likely going to survive from this thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying that messaging's still wrong. You should like totally ignore the hospital. Like obviously hospital beds are good, like to focus on, like, okay, we need to stop the spread because of hospital beds. But it's like, then people are just like, yeah, well, I'm fine. I know like 10 people who got it and like didn't go to the hospital. It's like, no, that's the wrong narrative. I'm saying like, this is a marketing issue now.
Yeah.
And I think the marketing issue is totally backwards. It's like, stop focusing on the incorrect thing. Focus on like altruism, you know?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much other percentage of people do say like that, like, or anti-vaxxing or whatever.
Dude,
but
there's so many people like.
No, that's what it seems like online.
So
but
dumb.
That's what it seems like online. But we see lines of people waiting to get a shot. So that is a huge change in.
For sure.
What they've seen is even in the like where it was earlier, with getting, like, do you want to get the vaccine, what that percentage was compared to what it is now, as much as people want it.
Yeah, totally. If it was if it was readily available, but, all right, so it is readily available, but I also don't like the idea of it like, all right, so there's a marketing issue, but also a logistical issue because like we, even though I'm open to getting the vaccine, it's like I don't want to have to like be in front of my computer and like wait there for like 7 hours to like see if there's an open spot. It's like so irritating to me. It's like, why don't you just do it like a number thing? Like just accept all of them. Like, cause right now it's like, the way it works is like, you have to book, there's like 200 spots or something every day and you got to book. So it's almost like a new drop of Yeezys. I was making that joke yesterday, right? It's like the new Supremes just came out and people are lining up for them, or like to pre-order, or like the PS5. It's like the PS5 pre-orders. And we're trying to pre-order the freaking vaccine, and it's like, okay, why don't you just take all of our information and just tell me when I can grab it? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we need to like be on the Best Buy website all the time just to see which one is available? It's so irritating to me, you know? That's a logistical hindrance.
It is a logistical thing. That's because we're not making the vaccines. We're getting them shipped in, right?
What I'm saying is like 2 solutions: fix your marketing and just accept all the thing, like first come, first serve. So it's like, just enter your information and we'll text you when it's available.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just do that? I don't understand why don't you just do that?
Well, I don't know.
Right? You know, it's like it's just like
there's like public solutions or people are creating. I just saw something like where it's like somebody made an app, so someone just texts that number, then it tells you with your text that number with your area code, postal code, sorry, and then that will give you your closest pop-up clinics.
Right.
Because people don't even know when these pop-up clinics are popping up.
Another irritating
so this is
thing,
what's happening here is public is getting involved in making solutions.
Totally. But you know, for like, it's weird because like with the AstraZeneca one, like Tara's mom was like, "Oh, you just sign up," and then she got a text message, and I was like, well, "How come we can't get that with our Pfizer ones? You know, like why can't you just implement?"
Yeah, I don't know how it works because there's so many different clinics or hospitals. The way they run things may be differently. Because even when I was trying to book if I wanted to get a test, it's like each hospital was working differently.
Oh, how do I
book to get a COVID test?
There should be like a freaking unified body of like, somebody should be in charge of this. Like, you know, but they don't. I feel like,
well, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard. I guess how hospitals run differently, so they have a different way. Like, there's so many websites too. It's like,
it's like,
this clinic, you have to go through this website, or this like, you know what I mean? It's not really, even when the pop-ups come, I don't know how people know if it's in your area.
You know, with the Scarborough one, I remember I texted our group chat and I was like, "Hey guys, like the thing you can get it now." Like Tara's sister got it, and then and then Wald was like, "Oh, you guys are late." Right? And I was like, what are you talking about? And then actually I was just talking to Jared, so he actually booked himself, his wife and his parents, right? And like they got it for Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, how'd you do it so early? And he's like, yeah, she was just like saw the tweet, and as soon as the tweet came out, she like went straight to the website. Yeah, see, and I was like, wait, hold on. They're tweeting. This is how the information, you know, like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, how? So we all got to follow your Twitter account now to like.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because I heard that on the radio too. It's like that's not going to help anyone, like Twitter thing, because people don't. Not everyone uses Twitter.
Exactly. So, but he was on it. So like,
no, I understand. Right, I understand that. They even mentioned this on the news that they don't have, like, they talked about the Twitter thing, and then like, what about the people that don't have Twitter?
Yeah,
like,
it's so
this is
dumb.
not the way it's not working.
And I feel like with the whole COVID thing, like it's like you know that like science experiment where you sift something in the water and then things rise to the surface.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about. Like there's like or like gold, when you're panning for gold.
Yeah.
Right. And then gold, what does it stay to the bottom, and then the fake golds rise to the surface, or something like that.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
It's almost like COVID is like the best analogy for it is like us sifting for gold, because a lot of like dummies rise to the top. You know what I mean? You're just like, why are you, like, you're really showing your true colors here, you know?
Yeah.
With this whole thing, and it's like, it's such a simple thing. I've been saying this whole time, like cracks in the system, but it's also like cracks in human psychology too. It's just like, why do you believe that there's some nefarious thing with the vaccine? I don't get it. Or like global control. I just saw like this Vox video. I didn't watch it though, but it was like the title was how major countries are how major countries are making the pandemic stay longer.
Major countries?
Yeah, and it was talking about like Britain, US, and I was like, okay, it was probably clickbait. I watched like the first 30 seconds of it, and I was like, nah, not for me. But it's like okay, why are you putting that out there? Come on, we're all in this. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's like you're sowing seeds of conspiracy over what?
I don't. I'll have to see the video if I don't know how to
like even thinking about it, it's like, what global conspiracy could there be?
Right.
Like what it, like they're gonna eradicate half the population? Are they Thanos now? Like, come on, bro. Like, what? Do you believe everything?
Yeah.
And then they would say to you, like, say to me, you know, like, do you believe everything CNN says? It's like, no, but you know, look at it logically.
Yeah.
Like, if they killed half the planet, what would they do with it?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't. That's not what people want to do. I mean,
and that thing you were saying, like, remember that person who commented, like, you know, it's not FDA approved or something, and then you were saying, like, do you trust everything that the FDA approves? You know, it's
right.
Like,
I mean, to say that as a way to
justify it,
but it's like, even when something is FDA approved, do you
you're still you're gonna find anything, bro. And it's just like, you're really seeing the dum-dums rise to the surface here. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's sometimes that's what the internet seems to do. I don't know why it's always those are the ones who comment, right? Those are the ones who people who are just normal people don't really care. Like, don't comment. Just see the news and then they move on with their life.
Yeah, true. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And like, it's the, I don't know. It almost seems like it's like the QAnon thing, you know, like you have nothing going for you, so you're going to like attach to this thing because it makes you feel like you're a part of something greater than what's actually going on.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
that's human psychology though, right there.
Right, yeah, that's what I mean, right? So it's like you yourself have got nothing. So you're going to give yourself some false sense of something by being like, I know what's really going on. Like, how do you know? You have a medical degree? No, bro, but I watched some YouTube videos. Like, okay, anybody can upload anything to YouTube, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I don't trust AstraZeneca. Okay, cool. Take the other ones, you know, like, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the world. Yeah. I don't know. But hopefully, you know, at least for Canada, these are the first world nations don't really have an issue with vaccines.
So that's the other crazy part about it. Like, you know, like people in developing countries, like I have family there, and they're like, give me the vaccine, bro. Like, it's not cool over here.
Yeah. I don't know. You don't see what it is like in other parts of the world, right? Like where they need vaccines for certain things that they don't have.
Totally. And it's almost like a slap in the face. If you don't get it, it's like a slap in the face to those people that really want it and are like begging for it in India. Yeah. You know, like all that stuff in India, like the running out of oxygen tanks and like, it's like they would in a second, if they could snap their fingers, they would switch places with you. You know what I mean? So like, so why are you going to be like all high and mighty about like, oh, I don't trust it. It's like, all right, cool, go to India, bro. This guy will come here and take the vaccine for you. You know?
Yeah.
It's like Western society has made us, like, too many choices made us soft. You know? Like you can't see a good thing for a good thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a percentage of those people, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's like
they're still not the majority, you know.
Yeah, true. But it's like we should ship those people over. Be like, really? You think that? You know, and most of these people don't even have a worldview perspective, you know? It's like they're like in this one place, they're bombarded by what they believe on the internet. They haven't left their zone, so they don't understand like that there's a different world out there that would literally kill to be in your position. So that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, people. It's like a line. People just live in that one block.
Bubbles.
Or like,
yeah. They never leave the hood, right?
Yeah, something like that.
That's Kendrick Lamar when he started getting famous. That's why he like got a tour bus and he like made all his friends from the hood just like go around different parts of the U.S. and be like, hey man, there's other stuff out here other than Compton. But if you don't know that, it's like you're gonna be stuck.
Well, it's not that you don't know that. You know that there's something out there, but you're just there's no motivation to go out there, maybe,
or like no way to get out,
or no way to get out. That's another thing. That's too. Yeah, that's
but
true.
then that just perpetuates like, it's like the whole hood mentality thing you were saying, right? Like you don't leave your block. It's like that really just perpetuates stupidity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like the dum-dum feeds the dum-dum that feeds the dum-dum that feeds the dum-dum. And you're in like a vicious cycle of dum-dums.
Yeah.
You know? And then like and then the dum-dum questions why they're in that position. It's like maybe you need to expand your perspective.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean that's with anything, right? I mean everything comes down to expanding the perspective. That's how science grows.
Totally. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
And I believe also that's I lost my train of thought. So I was just thinking about dum-dums. I was like, that's my new word from dum-dums from. Oh no. No, I lost my train of thought.
Again.
Yeah. Or maybe I just didn't want to say something. Maybe like my mind deleted it because like you're gonna go too far with that one.
Oh, okay.
So maybe I don't know. I just totally forgot where I was going with that one. But yeah, so I think it's important to. Oh no, I remember now. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So the way you perceive this situation, it definitely reverberates into like other parts of your life, right? Like if you're so conspiratorial and you don't believe this thing, it's like, how come I'm not getting these things? Because the way you see the world is so myopic or like closed-minded that way you see, like I'm a big believer in like how you do one thing is how you do everything, because it's like it's your personality just like magnified, right? Like so okay, so I'll give you an example. So for me, I'm curious. I like to find things that entertain me. That led me to traveling. That led me to like creating this podcast with you.
Okay.
That, you know what I mean? Like it's like how you do one thing is how you do everything, because your personality reverberates throughout your actions.
Sure.
Right? So like being like a conspiratorial anti-vaxxer, it's like what other part, like what at your core is driving that? Because that's what you're gonna do for everything, you know. And I think that's how you get stuck in the dum-dum vacuum that you're talking about. It's like you can't help those people, you know what I mean? You're just like, okay,
yeah,
that's you.
Programmed that way.
Yeah, programmed, totally. Yeah.
Sometimes the internet does magnify that. So
I mean, like, I'm all for conspiracies too. Like I'm reading all these books. Actually, speaking of conspiracies, that'll make a great segue to our next one. But I'm all for finding out like what's really going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But I'm all for what's really going on behind the scenes, not what I think is going on.
Right.
Right. And it's like with the Deutsche Bank book, The How Nations Fail, and now our next topic, the Russian, the man without a face, Vladimir Putin. Yeah, that is crazy. We watched The Courier.
Yeah.
And that great movie, Benedict Cumberbatch. Wait, do you have anything else to say about the vaccine before I move on?
No, that was it.
All right, cool. So Benedict Cumberbatch, such a great actor, dude. Like basically it was during I'd never seen a movie about this before, the Bay of Pigs / Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, I mean, there's been mention of it. I don't know. I can't recall if there's a direct movie, but I know it was
X-Men.
Well, X-Men, but that's
I didn't even watch that full movie, bro. But that's the only time I've ever heard of the Cuban Missile Crisis. I was like, oh, okay, this happened.
No, yeah, I've heard of it whenever they like JFK movies or something like that.
But no, it's like nobody made a movie about it. You know?
Yeah, I don't think so. At least I haven't come across it. Yeah.
Yeah. So the courier, he's like a normal salesperson, and then he's going between Russia and Britain, but he's working for the CIA.
Yeah.
And he's transporting the secrets from the Russian official to the CIA as a British salesman.
Yeah.
So he has no like spy training whatsoever.
No.
And yeah, like that is what turned the whole like Cuban Missile Crisis off or whatever. Like him, that Russian spy doing what he did is what saved the world from nuclear destruction. Yeah. And Benedict Cumberbatch in that movie is like so method actor. He lost so much weight at the very end, like when he was in prison.
I don't know if that was CG though.
No, I don't know, man. I don't think so.
I have to read into it. I think it's maybe CG.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
we didn't look this up, so
yeah.
I can't. We've got 2 points of view here.
I couldn't see it being CG. That's like so intense. Right. But anyways, so that's not really the point of it. No. But like Russia seems so intense, bro. Like people just like died willy nilly, and then reading The Man Without a Face, basically the bio of Vladimir Putin. It's like they would do like. So they would like ring on the doorbell of the person, throw sulfuric acid in his face, and then the dude didn't die. So like they shot him, and he still didn't die. And then every time like people would be like, oh, the KGB is doing this to me. Like the government is so controlled by the military state that even the doctor would be like, oh, you've gone crazy. And then they'd like send them for like psych evals, and like therapy.
Yeah,
because they think that they've just like gone crazy. And it's weird because like you were saying that that over there, like the normal person doesn't actually know what's going on.
Yeah. No, I mean, in a lot of those, I forgot, autocratic or authoritarian. Yeah, that those types of countries, it seems like, well, they control the internet a lot, right? So.
Right.
You can't get information even outside of your country.
Right. What's happening. So you don't even know like the craziness that's going on, you know, and like that's pretty scary. So like with the whole like anti-vax thing, it's like I'd be more inclined to believe something nefarious was going on under an authoritarian rule, than like a democratic one.
Yeah. It's just there's so many people involved. It's so hard to hide something. Like when there's so many people, so many things who testing these. Like there's so many things like that happening, where it's just hard to hide
in a democratic.
Yeah,
thing. because there's like freedom of information, right? Whereas like in Russia and China, they like control the internet so heavily that like that's why. Like it's almost like your peace of mind is better in those countries because like you think that the government has everything under control, but then whereas like in democratic societies, that's where you're like, oh, they don't really know what's going on, because like they in like those authoritarian governments, they're like polishing everything specifically to make you believe something.
It's I don't know if I mentioned this before, but it was like the movie that I watched, right, where when the guy from China came to America, it's like he saw some of these Americans like making fun of their leader.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, why you can't do that? But it's like he didn't realize that this is the free, like we can say whatever we want.
Yeah, right.
So over there, it's like it's everybody. You don't know who's the spy, or like in Russia, it's like you don't know who's the KGB or who's working for the. You gotta think everyone is. So that will create you to not have a freedom of thinking. You can't freely say like you don't like something.
Yeah, totally. And it's like, so do you want to be there? The people that are in these democratic societies and then we're like, oh, we're being ruled by the government. It's like, do you want to be in that kind of country where it's actually openly known that they're controlling everything and then you don't know who a spy is? But even if you listen to that in like in a Western sense, that sounds like a crazy movie. You know what I mean? Like you don't know who's a spy. You know, it's like, what is this, a movie now? Like, oh, I'm throwing sulfuric acid in your face. What is this, a movie?
Right.
The doctor is like, oh, you've just gone crazy. Of course the KGB is not controlling everything. Was this a movie, bro? Like, what? Like, we listen to it and we're like, this is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But this is actually like real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you just gotta look into it. And like, again, goes back to the thing about like, I'm all for conspiracies, but real conspiracies, not like fake stuff. You know?
Yeah. Where things make sense for conspiracy, I guess. But then you have to have a
Or like well documented, you know?
true. Yeah.
Like this person like wrote the book that I read is like, she like wrote this about, so basically they were doing a protest like at the end of the book. They were saying like that they started to protest against their government, and then she wanted to stay behind and like protest, but one of the people was like, don't do that. It's better for you to get the word out through this book about what's going on here than just like use your body as another person on the street. So she like left and then wrote this book about, you know, Vladimir Putin.
Right.
But I've fully decided that I will not be visiting those countries ever.
Okay.
Just because like you don't know, like what if they have some crazy search engine? Like let's say I'm going to Russia one time. I mean, I would love to go. It looks cool. Maybe one day if it like changes.
Moscow?
Yeah, Moscow looks cool. But like it would just be intense to like you show up, and then if they have something that like you type in the word Vladimir Putin in your name and then it gives you all the instances when you've talked about that person. They probably have that. You know what I mean? Like some sort of like crazy search engine that pulls up your history.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, they do that already with China. Like, you can't say stuff against
totally
Hong Kong or something.
I mean, even they were saying like, which is sad because I love Hong Kong, but you know, it is what it is. So like they passed that thing where even if you're in the airport, they can arrest you if you said something against the Chinese government.
Yeah.
But not even just their citizens. They put that for like everyone.
Yeah.
So that's why like Canada got pissed or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So now it's like, ugh, I don't know if I want to visit that place.
It's I don't know. It's
pretty scary, right?
It is. It is. And they're like number 2 is China, right? Like country wise, with power.
Yeah, totally.
And military might.
Yeah.
So,
but they were saying, like, I was listening to a podcast about it, and they were saying that they're still way behind the U.S. Like, it's not that they're like really close competitors, but they're catching up.
No. Yeah, of course, yes. But it's like they have something to do damage with.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Economically and yeah. That's why I keep saying like the future war is going to be an economic war. It's not going to be like a hot war. There's going to be no like bombs, but maybe if it comes to that. But like, economics is definitely coming first.
Well, it'll be first, yeah, which will trigger an actual.
Sanctions. No, because then you'll just play like this like economic game. It's like, you're gonna do that. We're gonna all band together. We're gonna sanction your country.
Yeah.
Sanction basically you can't do trade with them. So if you can't do global trade, your country's just gonna sink because we're a global society now. It's weird.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll ever hit a time where it's like you have one government on the world.
Don't think so.
No. Actually, this reminds me of when we were talking to France yesterday on the Red Dead. But like cultural appropriation, right? We're having like this one world now through the internet.
Yeah.
You know, and like I wonder if there's just going to be one culture in the or maybe it's like cities will have like a fusion culture. You know, and then you'll like if you want the only of that one, you'd have to go to that country. It's kind of how it is now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it's like I think to a greater degree in the future. Like you have like fusion cuisine now too, right? Like you could. I think they're saying like if you want to look at globalization, just look at food, because like the way that they have like
true.
Like what is it like Indian fusion Chinese food, you know, and you're like. You know what I mean? It's like you merge those two cultures together.
Yeah. Well, it happens not just necessarily here. It happens like if there's because there's a certain population of Chinese people in India, which has created like the Chinese Indian food mix.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like it's happened in the past. It's not like, but it like
Is that what Hakka?
yeah. That's what that is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a mix of Indian and Chinese. But like it's with like the Western nations, or at least these nations, there's a much more people, like people coming from all over the place. So there's, you'll see a much more of a mix.
Yeah, totally.
I would see that happening. Like it tends to happen all the time. It will happen. Like it's happened in the past.
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
And this is how it happens.
That's one of the things that I'm really looking forward to about getting the vaccine and like things opening up again is like seeing that multiculturalism again. You know, like it's interesting to see that we were like, obviously we were stifled by COVID and we had to like stop everything, but it's interesting that like these cities now are like becoming this weird fusion. You know what I mean? Like New York, you have like these pockets.
Yeah.
And like Chinatown, you know what I mean? And like we have that here too. I don't know, I'm like inspired by multicultural cities now.
No, I think I do like that. It's like, especially here, it's like I want to go get some Japanese food.
Totally, yeah.
I want to get some Chinese food.
Remember we watched the
Thai food.
Yeah, totally.
It's
Well,
like
you just named a bunch of like Asian countries.
I did,
though. Yeah, so,
I did. But I'm saying like you have
options.
You have options here, right? Like it seems an abundance of like a Greek food or
yeah. Okay, there you go. Threw something else in there.
It's just because those are the only three things that I
right
tend
totally
to lean towards. So.
But it's like the best examples when we watched the chef movie.
Yeah.
And they were making Cubanos, and then we just Googled Cubanos.
And then we went to get some.
Yeah. So it's like that's pretty intense that you can have that level of like multiculturalism and options.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they say that about New York too. Like I've only been once with my sister, and I plan to go back, but like it's just kind of sketchy. Like it did feel a little dangerous. Like some parts, like the subway.
Right.
Or maybe it's just like a psychological American thing because you don't know who's got a gun. You know, you're like, ooh.
Yeah, that's true.
But there were like pretty loud individuals on the subway system.
Okay, like crazy people, or
no,
like
normal
people that were loud.
No, like hoodlums.
Okay,
like you see them and you're like, oh, that's kind of weird, like shouting, and then like it's like it was like being back in high school.
Okay.
You know, like we went to different high schools, but like there was always like these like loud group of hoodlums that would like push things over, and like you're just like, oh, get out of the way of those people. It's kind of like it was kind of like that,
right?
In the subway.
Okay.
We were in the subway car one time, and like it was like 10 o'clock at night, and this one dude, he was going towards like, I don't know, like the like Harlem, I guess, direction. Like that's where our train was headed because we had to get off at that stop. And like this dude was like all do-ragged out and stuff, and like he was just shouting. He's like, I'll beat any one of you up. But I don't know if he's crazy or whatever. And then we're all just looking at him in the car, and I was like, dude, what if this guy had a gun? Like, you know, like, yeah,
true. Yeah,
there's so much crime like that happens. Watching the news in New York.
Well, they have it's also a bigger population, right? So
true. Yeah.
So it seems like it's much more. And then probably 10 o'clock is kind of like.
Yeah, but we were like coming back from like festivities in the main.
Yeah,
center.
Exactly. Yeah.
But like it was weird too. Like seeing the news every day was so different than like Canada.
Right.
You know, because like Mike Tyson's from Brownsville, and he always talks about like Brownsville being like really bad place.
Mm-hmm.
And like on the news, every morning it was like a shooting from Brownsville.
Yeah.
And they would show like blood on the grass.
Yeah,
and then I still have that like Instagram clip of the guy. He's like all you hear is doo 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 doo, but like it's Brownsville, so it's what you expect. And I was like, dude, what? Imagine that. You're just hanging out at night, you just hear gunshots.
Yeah, some of the places are like that.
Yeah.
It's
again, perspective, right? So it's like,
this is Yeah, it's a huge problem for them,
over there,
especially
totally.
with the guns.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
The access to guns is there,
But-
so that's why.
But I get it though. Like I've been listening to like a lot of podcasts about it, and they were saying like if you know the other person has a gun, like all right, even a thought experiment.
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
went in America, I would buy a gun.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, why'd you buy a gun? It's like, dude, you know he has a gun, so like obviously you're gonna need one too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, there was an increase in buying guns during this whole pandemic.
Yeah, totally. Because you don't want to be the only one without one.
Yeah.
It's like,
It was good gun business,
yeah,
gun
totally. Yeah.
sales or whatever.
But we can't do that in Canada because like guns are legal, which is great.
Yes, but a lot of them. That's right. It's illegal, normal citizens, but like, it's still coming across the border.
No, totally. But at least there's,
But it's not
there's
as
that
Yeah.
that like level of like, okay, I'm assuming you don't have one,
Yeah. Most likely, no.
right? Like,
Yeah.
whereas like
Most people that
there-
we meet, yeah. will not
whereas
have
there the psychology is like, I'm assuming you have one.
it. yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Which actually brings us to Andrew Yang, New York, UBI. Definitely, I'm a huge believer in it. I like his. I just picked up the book. I haven't read it yet because I'm still reading that Barack Obama one. But like, I was listening to his podcast about it, and it made total sense about how he would fund UBI and how it would like spread,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, so it's not really about like taxing more the people that make like 200K because they're paying their taxes. You know, like dentists and like lawyers.
Yeah. General people, yeah. Your income.
But that's again bad
taxed.
marketing. Everyone thinks that you're going to tax like, oh, I'm a dentist, so you're just going to tax me more.
Yeah, it's not
like-
bad marketing. This is Republicans marketing.
Oh, okay, so because they don't want it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. It's just like opposite. So it's good marketing for the opposite side,
Yeah.
right? So basically, what he was saying is he's like Amazon, like big corporations, big tech corporations who are like downsizing people. You know, because you have automation and stuff.
Yeah.
They're paying like no tax.
Mhm.
He's saying that like literally last year Amazon paid 0 in taxes.
Right.
And he was like, that's so scary knowing that they're like a multi-billion-dollar company.
Mhm.
So it's like, if you just tax them,
Yeah.
you know, and you add this like thing called a value added tax where it's like, if you get rid of like 5 workers in place of a robot, you have to pay more tax.
Yeah.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
The thing is like, yeah, as
But wait, and that's how you fund it, and then you can give it out to people.
right. But this has to be done federal level, right? Like in order to really create a change. I don't know if it'll work state-wise. Because what they could do is they can just go to
the
another
states.
state.
Yeah,
Where
totally.
it's like, well, you don't like a state or maybe a Republican state, like you don't
Yeah,
you
for
want
sure.
like we can give you 3,000 jobs, so give us a tax incentive
Yeah,
to
totally.
build this warehouse here or something.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, true. He was saying that he's gonna start it like a pilot project in New York, whereas like lower income people are gonna get some subsidy if he wins, which it looks like he's gonna win. Like a lot of people are for him. But if he wins that and proves like good, like it's like successful,
It's work. Yeah.
then it could be like what do you call that? Like it can be
Implemented elsewhere.
yeah, like expanded, like people can just like adopt it. So I'm very hopeful. I wonder who's the first country that's going to do it though. Like if you think about it, it's like Serb is basically UBI,
Mhm.
just under a different name.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling.
Well,
Canada-
it's somewhat like like a UBI. It's only for people who don't have work.
Yeah, but that's who need UBI the most, right? Like it's like so basically. So France asked a good question. He's like, "Would you work if you had the money coming in?" I was like, "Yeah, I would do something that I want to do." Right. And then that's the exact same thing that Andrew Yang said, right? He was like, if you always wanted to start a bakery, right? But you were like, well, if this fails, I'm done. But you know you had UBI, you'd be willing to take the risk, right? And then people who live in that community, they have $1,000 extra to spend. They're going to spend that in your bakery. So the government's going to get the money back, right? So like if you give $1,000 to somebody who makes like $400 million a year, you're never going to get that $1,000 back. It's just going to stay in their bank account.
Yeah.
But if you make like low amounts of money and you give $1,000, it's going to come back instantly because people are going to spend that on like rent, on food.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So it makes sense. Like, I don't understand why UBI would not be a thing. It's so logical.
Yeah.
And it's kind of ironic that like an Asian dude who's like assumed to be really logical is the one who's pushing it forward.
Didn't he have the math hat?
Yeah, his hat is math. Like, that's his like, yeah.
Make math great again.
Yeah. But it's funny. It's like, that's also like a racial stereotype too.
Yeah, but he was wearing the hat. So.
Yeah, he was. Dude, that's the crazy part. It's like, some stereotypes are good. Like, why would you not promote that you're good at math?
Yeah.
You know?
True.
You remember the Ronnie Chang documentary? It's almost like a documentary because he's really breaking down society. But the comedy stand-up special, and then you're saying like, you need an Asian president because they're the most logical. Like, we don't care about you. That's how you know you can trust us.
Right.
Right? Because it's like blacks hate whites, but the Asian is like, okay, guys, chill. This is what we're going to do, you know? Because they have no skin in the game. Yeah. I see it working.
Yeah, there's it seems very good, or like the reason rationality behind it is makes sense.
Yeah.
They were doing a test for it here, right? So
yeah, you're saying
but then just seeing how people would be like, is there like just giving them the money, not like where the money's coming from. I guess they had the excess money to do the trial and see what would happen.
To see psychologically like what they would do.
Exactly. But then it was stopped maybe halfway through the study. I don't know exactly when, by the next government that got in.
Right.
Because they were against it.
It's so weird. And then like now, okay, another reason why I think UBI is gonna happen and it's so important is like we talk about like the Canada recovery benefit, right? So like, I'm making this up. Like, this is not a thing, right? We have CRB, right? What's it called? What's the acronym stand for? Canada
Emergency Relief Benefit. I don't know.
Oh, that's CERB.
Oh, that's CERB.
Yeah.
But it was the one you're saying?
Now there's a CRB one. They took out the E.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, well, whatever. So they're talking about like a recovery bill that they were pushing, and I was like, dude, that's going to be the next like acronym, CRB, Canada Recovery Benefit.
Oh, okay.
Right? My assumption, like this isn't actually true yet, but because like we've been on such a downturn economically because of COVID, right? You've lost so many businesses. We've seen so many businesses.
Yeah.
So when Canada opens up again, oh, it's raining.
Is that the rain?
Yeah, it's rain. If you hear this on the podcast, so we've seen so many businesses close, right? So if your expectation is, okay, you've lost all your money, now go get a job. What's your work experience? I worked 20 years for myself.
Right.
Who's going to hire you?
Yeah.
Like, they might hire you, but they're like, you're going to be a disruptor, right? Like, you're going to tell me how to run my business. You're going to think like, you're not going to get a job. I don't think.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, I worked at a Chinese restaurant for 20 years managing it. It's like, cool, but we're Amazon, so I don't know. You want to stack some boxes? You know what I mean? Like, what is the next logical step?
Yeah.
Right? Makes no sense. So I think that there's going to be two things. That's my prediction. The UBI, but called CRB, Canada Recovery Benefit. And then they're going to give a subsidy to people who want to open up a business.
Yeah. Or tax incentive. Yeah. Would be a subsidy
both.
form.
Yeah.
Probably both.
Tax incentive plus subsidy, because you need money. So it's like, if you lost all your money, well, where am I going to get money to open up a business? And if they don't do this now, one, they'll never do it in the future, and two, you're going to cripple the economy, because what are all these people going to do without a job? You're going to have a bunch of homeless people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think there will be some sort of recovery benefit or an incentive for business to come back.
Yeah, because how do you do it? Yeah. Like, so many places, like remember when Wob sent us that? I've never been to that restaurant, but he's like, it's been operating for 40 years, like this Chinese restaurant.
Right.
And like my first thought was, what are they going to do? What are their kids going to do? You know, what's your work experience? I worked for my dad. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Makes no sense.
Oh yeah. We'll see the like how the recovery will be, right? Like when things start to come back to normal, then we'll.
Yeah, totally. I think the first step is like, yeah, we all got to get the vaccine.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the first step right now.
yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. So what do you think about the Apple tags?
It seems like everybody's loving it. Whoever is talking about it.
Yeah, it's funny. I really wanted to pick one up only because like I never lose my keys. I lose my phone all the time, but I don't lose my keys. And my sister was like, she's like, you put your phone, your keys together. If you lose your phone, what good is the tag?
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that's true. But I really just wanted it because it looked cool. Like aesthetically, like.
I guess it depends on your use case scenario. So, I can see if people put that on as a dog tag.
I could see that. That one's good. But we never were like super careful with Athena.
No,
So
I know.
she also doesn't have a dog collar, so.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't really work.
Yeah, no.
But again, it's like it depends on each individual's use case scenario. But it seems like it's.
Did you watch the
pretty
Marcus
popular.
Brownlee thing?
The review of it, I didn't see the
Comparison?
not the comparison between that and Tile. I did not finish that yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It seems like Apple's just coming out with anything now. I was like, wow, you're trying to like be everything.
Well, the Tile was the market for that, right? And I guess the U1 chips that are all in there, there's a multi-use case scenario for this stuff.
But I mean, like, I'm trying, like, I feel like Apple's trying to be so pervasive. Like, now we have like tracking chips. Now we have like the ability to take one program to another device with equal power because of that chip.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about that Google Glass, the glasses one. I sent you that, right? And it's like anything can be a AR surface.
I mean the Apple Glass or the
Apple
Google?
Glass, yeah.
Well, because they're focusing on AR too. Like you
That's
can
what I mean.
see
It's
the
like,
build.
dude,
You were trying out the AR the other day, right?
Oh yeah.
So
true.
it's
Yeah.
like they're.
So AR.
These are like their
AR's augmented reality, and basically what it is you're gonna see the world in front of you, but things on top of it. So if you ever played like Halo, it's the HUD, the heads-up display.
Yeah.
It's like you see your life bar, your ammo. Like,
Yeah.
that's basically AR.
Yeah. So it's like it's like cool what they're doing. It was like kind of interesting. It's like trying out their products and see how it looks in your space.
Yeah, totally.
Right. And then which is like these are like early steps in their AR.
Yeah.
Where I think that eventually it'll be like where it becomes like screenless. You'll have images in front of you.
Yeah, for sure. You know what's funny? It reminds me of this line where it's like everybody's got great ideas, but not everyone has the ability to execute on those ideas. So like when I was in university many years ago, when I was talking to like because like it was a tech university.
Yeah.
So with the computer science guys, they had to take. So I was initially in like computer science, and then we had to take business courses. So we were like interacting with the business students, and then I switched over to business. But like as I was in business, I had to interact with the computer science people because like it's just how they built the stream, because they wanted you to be like business savvy but also tech savvy. So when I was talking to the computer science guys, they were telling me about AR, and I was like this was way before now. And like they were just talking about this idea, and I was like, why don't you make a glass that is your windshield, and then it will just direct you where to go. This was before GPS even, right? I was like, just have a line, and they're like, yeah, you could do that in the future. So again, it's like great idea, but like no way to execute on it
At the moment, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the technical expertise, but like I think that is definitely going to be the future again. Like we're going to have these glasses that show you where to go.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it now. Like our life is going to become a video game, bro. Like that's like I keep going back to that, the My Life a Video Game, because it's like that is where we're headed.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a play on thing. It's like we're creating stories or video games that we want eventually in our lives. That is now coming that we can do that in our technologies.
If you ever played GTA 5 back in 2013, we didn't have GPS to the magnitude it is in that game.
Yeah.
Now we have the Apple GPS and the Google GPS equivalent to what it was in that game. The video games are literally telling us where we're going in the future.
True. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like actually, though, right? Because they're implementing it in the video game, and we're just making it a reality in our own lives.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that too. Like even with the Tesla stuff, it's like driving itself.
Dude, yeah, totally. Yeah,
that's
for
another
sure.
thing. That's in the video games. But,
Totally.
Like like when you called for your car in Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
like it comes to you. That's the
to you,
summoning feature that's in Tesla. That's slowly still being implemented, right?
I think like before people were like, because they didn't have video games, so like 2001 Space Odyssey, they're like, if you want to watch the future, just watch a movie, right? But now it's like, if you want to see the future, play a video game. Like literally that's where we're headed. You're going to have like, I already have, so if we include augmented reality glasses, right? I already have a smartwatch that's tracking my biorhythms, right? It's the Garmin, right? But I have to open the app.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about?
No, the other augmented, like what Microsoft's doing with
Google Glass.
No, Microsoft's.
Oh.
I forgot what they called it, but they're working with the military.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are they gonna have their own HUD?
Yeah. I think so. It's like Halo.
Okay, so dude, really think about this one.
Yeah.
Because you think it's a video game, but it's like, no, this is what's gonna happen in our lives. So I have a Garmin Instinct Solar, right? And that thing has become the most invaluable piece of equipment I own. Why? Because I pair it with my phone, and it like tracks my steps, tracks my heart rate, Oh, okay, cool. This is showing me a picture of what.
Yeah, so it's called HoloLens.
A Halo lens. Call it Halo, but Halo
or HoloLens.
Holo.
HOLO, yeah, HoloLens, AR. So that's like, I guess they'll get like information on that.
But all right, so if you Google HoloLens, it's pretty big. So like with the Apple Glass, it looks like a pair of sunglasses.
Yeah, but again, this is all
right, totally the future. But we're getting there.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
No, I'm saying like if you want to look at the future, look at a video game.
Yeah.
So like, okay, so going back to my Garmin. So I have this Garmin that's connected to my app. It shows me everything in the app, right? But I have to open the app. What if I have Apple glasses that show me the app on my like in my eyes?
Yeah.
That's literally the same as like in a video game, you're like your health bar, you know, playing Red Dead, it's like you're getting hungry and then you have to like go eat some food. It's like your blood sugar is getting low.
Yeah.
Because they're doing that now. They're figuring out a way to look at your blood sugar through lasers, right? They already have I have the one that's like checks your oxygen level, because I thought I had like sleep apnea, so I was like, oh, let me just buy this one, and then it's like the most functional whatever. So like it tells me my O2 level throughout the day as well.
Yeah.
So like it's really jacked in to my like biorhythms. We're going to see that on the glass. It's going to be so gnarly because it's like, warning, eat some food. You know, something like that. Dude, it's going to happen.
Yeah, your blood sugar level.
Right.
Yeah.
And with the HoloLens for the military, all you have to do is just create like something in the gun that tracks how many bullets you have. So you're going to be shooting, and it's going to show you how many bullets you have in the chamber on your HoloLens. So your glasses will have a heads-up display with your bullet count. And then it's going to be like reload now.
Right.
Getting low, reload. And you're like, okay, cool.
Sure. Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, right? It's going to be like a video game.
It's going to be like a video game. And we have like, think about, you know, like, damn, I want to play Call of Duty. We got to play Call of Duty, bro. I want to play so bad right now. So Call of Duty, if you look at the heads-up display, you have a map.
Yeah.
What is that? That is just our GPS signal, which we have already in our phones. You just need it on a heads-up display.
Yeah.
Which is Apple Glass.
Yeah.
You're gonna have your reload count.
Oh, and also where your mates are.
Where your mates are. You just gotta share location. We already have these things, man. We just don't have them consolidated in one place.
Yeah.
Right? Because like like sometimes if like Tara's like, oh, can you pick up this thing? And then she'll be like, oh, never mind, you're too far. I'm like, how did you know where I am? She's like, oh, you have to share your location on, so she could see where I am. So if you're in like a wartime thing, you have like Google Apple Glass, AR, augmented reality. You have like your weapon count. You have your like bird's eye view map of where all your people are. You have your waypoint on that map telling you where to go.
And if you could connect with a drone, you see like
That's
top
what I'm saying,
view
bro.
is like, oh,
We're in a video game, bro. The future is a video game.
yeah,
Yeah, I could see it.
video game make reality.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. All right. That's about it. Play some video games. We gotta play Call of Duty now. Like, I'm so stoked for it. Damn.
I don't know if they changed the map, but I think they did. I'm not sure. So supposedly a new map to the world.
Do you remember that thing, the shared dreaming from Inception? They created shared dreaming for the military as a way to like be in battle without any consequences.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That's how the whole Inception thing was created.
Right.
It's logical. It totally makes sense. Wow. Could you imagine if we started doing that too? If they figure out a way to detach consciousness from your brain, which is impossible because I'm a firm believer that consciousness is a part of your brain. Like it's a byproduct of your brain.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But maybe if you could jack in your brain somehow, I don't know. Now we're getting crazy, but yeah.
Yeah.
We're moving towards
We'll see.
like
Yeah. I mean, there's like the Neuralink. So many things are happening that.
that's another thing, right? Dude, the future is gonna be a video game. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Cause I paused because I looked at the Halo picture on our wall
Okay.
and the helmet. I could see like if you just Google Master Chief, that's what we're gonna look like. Our army soldiers are gonna look like in the future, and the AR is gonna be the helmet, the glass on the helmet.
Yeah. That's what the HoloLens look like.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Crazy. All right, till next time. I'm excited for the future. Here we go.
Yeah.
And the first thing we need, the microchips through the vaccine in our arms. Let's get there, people. Gotta save humanity.
Yeah, that's part of the anti-vax movement. They don't want chips.
Yeah, they don't want chips. Actually, the army, they were saying that. The army figured out how to put microchips
Right.
in.
Yeah.
But the army people didn't want it. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they do have that technology out there.
Right. True.
Be afraid. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I mean, they told us. It's not like they were hiding anything. So.
Oh, actually, wait, sorry. Last thing. Nanotech.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, what Marvel movie was that where like they injected the nano machines into his body and they could like monitor the blood cells, and then those things could also like go to cancer cells and like kill them and stuff. It's like you have like, remember they had like
I can't remember.
oh, it was like they injected nanotech into the person.
Okay.
Was it Iron Man? I don't think so. Was it Iron Man?
Maybe.
And then he has like little robots inside of him.
Yeah, I think so. It could have been.
Or was it a video game? Was it Halo? They injected like nanotech?
I don't know where it was. What? Yeah.
I gotta Google that.
But they
after this podcast.
act like white blood cells with their.
Yeah, and they can go around and like fix things if they want to, or like give you more powers,
Right.
stuff like that. I could see that as being part of the future too. You're gonna have nanotech inside your body, and then that's how you're gonna read your biorhythms. It won't be like a watch.
Right.
It'll be like inject me with nanotech, and then that will connect to your heads-up display.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Till next time.
Cool.
This is like a futurist podcast.
It became that. Yeah.
I know. Start with the vaccines, and then
Start with the vaccines.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Till next time. Take it easy, Dish.
All right.
All right. Hope you enjoyed that episode. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all those fun things, and check out our sponsors: Zenro Clothing Co., Portian Bakery, and Podbean. Take it easy, Dish.
Peace.